everyone. This is Ayana, your transformation health coach, live on Instagram. Hi, Instagram, and on Facebook and YouTube. Hello, Facebook and YouTube. Welcome, 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 everyone. I am Ayana, your transformation health coach, and happy Sunday to you all. Now, it is May. We're already in May. When did that happen? When did May happen? I don't know when April. I still feel like I'm in February or January, to be quite honest with you all. I don't know what's going on, but the world is moving very quickly. And that's good news because for a lot of us, that means that the world is starting to open up and again. And I hope that you guys are, able to have some time, to go outside in the world today. It's really gorgeous in the Bay Area. I hope the weather is really amazing or getting better and nicer where you are. And that you guys are enjoying, this time with friends and family. We had some tennis time with our girls and with our nephews. Two nephews came and joined us for kids tennis. It was amazing and incredible here in Oakland. So I hope you guys get a chance to go outside and enjoy the world a little bit. And welcome to this Sunday Live. Because May is Mental Health Awareness Month, we are going to focus on mental health in this month. So this month's blog will be all about mental health stuff, the freebie, and also a digital download, a little online course that you can purchase for real cheap and you can use to buy, resources and tools that'll help you with mental health. So if you don't follow me, go ahead and make sure that you do. If you're on Instagram, hi Instagram, hello, go ahead and what is it? Not subscribe, that's YouTube. Go ahead and follow me. There you go. And if you're on Facebook, go ahead and follow my page, Thrive and Be Whole, and you will see as soon as all of these products and things come out. So that way you never miss a thing. And if you ever just want to be notified about these things, you can message me as well too. Okay. So this video is going to be all about my challenges and overcoming my challenges with mental health, because when we're talking about mental health and mental health awareness, I think we all, as human beings, just by a virtue of being on this planet, we all go through trials and tribulations in our lives. And I think that all of the struggles that I've had in my life have helped me get to where I am now. So I actually really like talking about these things, that we can demystify mental health issues and the stigma that so many of us still have around it. All right. So with that said, I just wanted to walk you, since this is the beginning of May and the beginning of the month, I wanted to walk you guys down the path of like a year that was really challenging for me. Now, I actually, a lot of folks, there are a lot more experiences that have happened in my life, but I tend to think of 2010 as the year that broke me and then rebuilt me. And those of you who know me personally, you may know a little bit more about this story, but in 2010, I was dealing with several things simultaneously. I was trying to move. So I live in the Bay Area. I live in Oakland, and I was living with my mom, but I'd gotten a job in New York. I'd always wanted to go back to New York because I had, been school out there and I still had a lot of friends out there. And I got a great teaching job to go back out there. But my mom was really sick and ill. And so I went out there for a couple of months, but it turned out that I needed to come back and help take care of her. So that was something that was really hard and difficult. That was challenging for me because all of a sudden I was cut off from all of the friends and support system I had built in New York, and the best friends and like people who became like brothers and sisters to me, and had to go back home and take care of my mom. And I'm my mom's only daughter, her only child. And so the caregiving responsibility fell on me exclusively. And here I am, I'm like, how old was I in 2010? Okay, I can't do the math, but I'm young. I'm in my early 20s, and it was really shocking to my system and difficult to go back home and feel like I was saying goodbye to my dreams and goodbye to so many of my friends. And I was taking care of her by myself. And I think because of all of that going on, I was in and out of a relationship that ended up becoming abusive. So because I was feeling so lonely and kind of down and depressed, I kind of, like I met another person in my life who had been he and I had dated off and on for a long time. We'd known each other since high school, and things had not turned abusive until we both became adults. And something about us getting together, he was really wounded and I was deeply wounded, and we were both got together wounded, and it turned into an abusive relationship. And then another thing that I heard that happened a couple months after all of this was going on and I was really trying to get out of that situation, I then also, a really good friend of mine, one of my best friends ever, he was killed suddenly. We were 25. That's what it was. I'm like, what year is it? So we were 25 and he was killed outside of a party. And it happened really, really tragically and just all at once. And something about all of these things happening at one time, feeling really isolated from the community that I loved so much and all the friends and family that I had in New York, and coming back home and being a caregiver to my mom with this really horrible illness, Huntington's disease. Is kind of like a mix between Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. There's movement. There's like all these cognitive things going on. The person who is suffering with it, they are they're dealing with a lot of cognitive issues, and they have a lot of personality shifts. So they become really angry. They don't want any help. My mom was really angry. She was lashing out a lot. She was kind of running all over town. So her illness was really heavy. Me being cut off from all my friends and family on the East Coast was really heavy. And then also then getting, coming, just finally emerging out of an abusive relationship that of someone who I knew for so long and who had not been abusive to me before. All of this was really confusing. And then to add on my best friend getting murdered, it was just like enough to drive me crazy. And really, that's what ended up happening. I went into a deep, dark place where I just could not cope with anything going on. And I was so, I wasn't diagnosed as depressed officially, but I'm self-diagnosing because I didn't seek help right away. And I had I dealt with a lot of shame and a lot of issues and a lot of struggle, feeling like, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with my life? Why can't I just get it together? And I started to go into this dark place of feeling like, well, my life is just going to suck because I'd been through things before. And so I started feeling in that year that maybe life is just pain. Maybe life is just a painful experience that is, and this is all it is. So I started to have, I wasn't actively suicidal, but I really desperately wanted to not wake up. And what I mean by that was I did not want to act like I did not, I knew that, when I thought about killing myself, I thought about it, but I didn't actually want to be the one to do it, right? I didn't actually want to take the action to do it, but I prayed to not wake up. And so, jobs and everything else were out the window. I know that I had friends in Oakland at the time who were probably trying to wonder what was going on with me and why I would stay sequestered. Like the little friends that I did have back in Oakland were, kind of wondering what's going on with me, trying to invite me out and doing things, but I didn't feel like doing anything. Just felt so down and felt like life was against me. And then finally, what changed it for me was getting to a place where I really scared myself, where I really started to just notice how low I was, and note it just, the more and more I started to have feelings of wanting to die, the more I started to scare myself into doing something different. And so I started obsessively looking up like, personal growth things on YouTube, different, just, really trying to find answers and help and support. And I just really went, I just started to really look up everything that I possibly could. I even just Googled a therapist and just called the first person's name that I could find. And thank God for that guy, because, he really saved my life. And it was a combination of me, and again, I was so beaten down that I couldn't work, because if I would have gone to any type of job or had any type of work, every time I thought about just waking up in the morning, I was just crying. I was just in tears constantly throughout the day and in so much pain. And so, going through the therapeutic process and looking for and reading at, all these books that I could find and listening to podcasts and just all of these different things that were talking about depression and anxiety and overcoming these different things really saved my life and helped me to see that, yes, life has obstacles and challenges in it, but life has pain in it by definition, right? And all of these painful experiences are there for a reason. They teach us something, they help us grow. But the painful experiences become suffering when we add extra stuff onto it. So I learned that, I love that quote. I forgot who said it, but it's that pain in life is inevitable, but suffering is optional. And I didn't realize how much I was adding to my pain by my mindset, by the things that I was telling myself, by the messages I was telling myself, by how I was saying to myself that, oh, well, like with my mom, so the illness that she has, Huntington's disease, I have a 50% chance of inheriting it. It's a genetic condition. And so if I have the gene, I'm going to get tested for it soon. But if I have the gene, then I will develop it. So I was really feeling, depressed by that outcome. And so I was living in a lot of fear. I was living in a lot of anxiety. Oh my gosh, if I have this gene, I'm going, this is what's going to happen. And I'm going to be down the same road as my mom and this and that and the other. And I was, spiraling out of control. But I was doing that to myself, right? So it's normal and we all do that. But the good news that I learned is that we can learn how to manage the thoughts that we have about something, right? When my best friend passed away, I was grieving, but I also felt really bad because I felt guilty for not being there. I was beating myself up for not being there enough. In the abusive relationship that I had been in, it's already a traumatic situation, but I was adding on to it. I'm like, how did I let myself get into this? How could I let myself be so weak? Why did I do X, Y, and Z? Why did I let that happen so long? And so all of that, the why did I, what's wrong with me, why can't I, all of that is a recipe for suffering. Because the truth is that we're human beings and there's nothing wrong with you, just like there was nothing wrong with me. We're all the product of our experiences. And when we know better, we do better. And so by me, going to therapy and learning how I was actually making it worse, right? And learning all these different things, it changed my life in a dramatically powerful way. And I care so deeply about coaching now, is because I saw firsthand in my life how much my own thoughts and thought patterns that I had been taught, that had been passed down to me, just innocently enough, were also making things even more challenging for me and making my life a lot harder. Oh, oh, someone's commenting on Facebook. Okay. Oh, thanks, Mike. So Mike said, okay, I was going through the same thing in 2010. Oh, my mom was sick too. She had cancer. Mental health is very important. Yes, it is. And thank you for sharing that. And so many of us, like, we will all have to go through either being a caregiver or being taken care of ourselves at some point, if we're lucky enough to live that long, right? So these are all a part of our lives, and how we deal with it, how we work on our own mental health will help us really shape the path that we take as we move forward. And so with that said, this month, I want really, really just pausing and reflecting and just focusing on you. You should always focus on yourself every day. I learned that I deserve self-care. I learned that I deserve to take care of my mental health. I learned how many things are affected by my mental health, like from working and earning money, okay, a business, kids, family, spouse, everything, right? Everyone that we love and everything that we care about us and all the causes that are deeply important to us will not be able to work if we don't take care of ourselves. And so it's deeply, so I learned that mental health is the number one thing. And so, if you haven't yet made that shift in your life, or even if you have, but maybe you're just not doing things on a daily basis to take care of yourself, how can you make time for yourself this week and each day, right? If you're not at the point where you're learning how to make time for yourself every day, figure out how you can make time for yourself this week. You deserve it, and you deserve to make that mental health shift. Or maybe you need to reach out to someone like I did. And I have had therapy. I still have therapy once a week. I love it. Therapy is great. Therapy is like going to the doctor. And I also have coaching too. I do all of these things, and I listen to inspirational things to help my mindset. I journal. And so, if you are stuck and struggling with any one of these things, I want you to know, that reaching out to a therapist is something that you should absolutely do. Or, if you want to have a free session with me, I'd love, love, love to support you in any way that I can. If you're on Facebook and YouTube, the link to set up a free talk with me. Again, you don't have to sign up for coaching, but just so we can really figure out what the number one thing is that's sabotaging you from moving forward, making the progress that you deserve, and the big vision that you have for your life. Okay, so the link is in the description and on my Facebook and YouTube. Or if you're on Instagram, hi Instagram, hey ladies, thank you for watching. If you're on Instagram, you can absolutely check out the link in my bio. Okay, so with that said, everyone, what will you do for yourself this week and today? Even maybe go for a walk, maybe get outside in some of that sunshine if you're having sunshine. But you deserve to take time for you. You deserve to make yourself a priority. All right, so with that said, everyone, take care. Bye, Facebook and YouTube.